What does freedom mean?
In the United States and America, they can say we're free, but there's just a lot of stuff we're not able to do that other people are able to do. Riding down the street, like getting pulled over, they're able to do that. We're not able to do that safely and without, like wondering if we're gonna make it home. So the Japanese culture, you have three faces: the one you show to everybody, the one you don't want anyone to see, and then the one that is just tripping. So, like you said, it is definitely different for us because in order for us to show our true self, we have to know how to be free but safely.
Good morning, I'm Starsky Wilson. I have the absolute honor of serving as president and CEO of the Children's Defense Fund. And right now, all over the country in 172 sites, we're kicking off CDF Freedom Schools for thousands of scholars and families across the country. Today, we're also starting a listening series called The Village Speaks, CDF Listens. When I was in high school here in Dallas, Texas, 30 years ago, CDF was making famous in America the quote that it takes a village to raise a child. And so we're listening to the village at sites across the country, asking what it's like to raise children today and trying to inform our public policy agenda for Washington, D.C. and the 10 locations where we have offices across the country. And so we're starting with our agenda, listening here at 1600 Pennsylvania. That's a different 1600 Pennsylvania. We're at St. Philip's Church and Community Center here in South Dallas. In Dallas, where I grew up. But this 1600 Pennsylvania has Black and brown families and scholars that we're going to be listening to all day. Young adults who are servant leader interns and college students who we're going to be listening to all day. Parents and caregivers who we're going to be asking what they need to make sure their children are well. What does freedom feel like, and what does thriving children look like for them? And so we're going to take you on the journey all day, and we're going to take the words, the work, and what we hear at 1600 Pennsylvania in South Dallas to 1600 Pennsylvania in Washington, D.C. as CDF listens and the village speaks. So stay tuned, stay with us, follow along all day and throughout the next few weeks as we share with you what the village had to say about caring for our children.
When I think about freedom, I think about equality. In today's society, we all want to be accepted, from our color to our gender. And I think when we grasp what freedom really means, we'll be able to have our generational wealth. We'll be able to impact our community. We'll be able to impact our kids because as adults, we know what freedom truly means. So when I think about what freedom is, I think about equality. Can I love my brothers and sisters the same way that I love my family? Can I love my brothers and sisters the same way that I love my coworkers? So that's what freedom looks like to me.
Well, for me, when I'm free, I'm in my room. I'm with music. Music makes me feel free. Being with my family and friends, laughing makes me feel free. And being free is just the feeling of just happiness and just, being happy.
This is the key. The public policy work only matters if it's what you actually want to do for yourself. The public policy work only advances if we can show up in a way that has moral authority. And we only have moral authority to do this work if we're aligned with you doing what you tell us.
A lot of us seem to gravitate towards this topic because it starts, felt it starts with the community. And also, it just seems like this topic kind of addresses a lot of the other topics around the room. If you have a just and caring community to start out, you are more aware and you have a support system. The equality before the law, if I have equality before the law, I have opportunities with economic opportunities healthcare opportunities, the civic participation, and the early childhood development. We felt all of us felt strong about the balance of care, foster and adoptive care system. That's a system that needs maybe a little bit more help and more work. So if we, once again, it's a just and fair community, we all participate. He used the term village. If we're the village, then we're not just looking out for what's on our in our dwelling. We're looking out for what's around the neighborhood, including others that, you know, are not members of our family. And then the safe neighborhoods, same thing. You know, your neighborhood's safe. It's a place where people want to live. You can enjoy. Children can learn. And there's opportunities. And the last one we kind of didn't touch on much, the fair immigration laws. I mean, this country once meant something for immigrants. You come here, you had a dream, you could do something, and all of us didn't come here the same way as immigrants, but we still got that dream and that vision. So.
And the reason why we gravitated towards family economic mobility is because we all agreed that we would like for our kids to become better than we are, not just educationally, but with financial wealth, you know, and with the ability to make choices that will promote wellness or well-rounded individual, shall I say.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? She's a soft-spoken person. Anybody else want to share what you heard? They can't even be effectively Googled. And I'll stop here because I'm going to say too much. But the straight white men with authority, land, and power in America and in the Western world have given these things meaning in a way that make it hard for us to even conceive of something like freedom.